Welcome to the Southwest Florida Online News Podcast, hosted by Angelina Asante.
Hi, this is Angelina Asante. Today, we're glad to welcome Brooke Green from the Florida Bolts all-girl baseball organization. Brooke is the president and CEO. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm so glad to meet you because we have a mutual friend and they told me about your organization. And I said, geez, I didn't have any idea that this was even happening in Florida. So can you kind of give me a background of how you came up with the idea and how you got this all started? Because from what I understand, there's multiple chapters, right?
Right. So I actually came in 2021. Originally in 2018, the organization was started by a gentleman named Josh Melton. And he started the Florida Bolts All Girls Baseball Organization, and he had two teams. And then obviously COVID hit and nothing was happening. There was nothing, no baseball, nothing going on. And right after COVID is when I found out about it. My daughter, who is 15 now, at the time she was 12, she was, getting at that age where the challenge of finding a spot for her within baseball, because you got the stigma and the boys are getting stronger and, it's becoming a challenge to find spots for her. So I started Googling and I found Josh's organization and we joined and we went to Baseball for All Nationals that year. And then right after the Baseball for All National tournament, Josh said, hey guys, I'm moving to Oregon. I need somebody to take over. And it was basically crickets. So nobody, and that was in July of 2020. So fast forward to January of 2021, we still don't have an organization. Everything is gone. There's no more nonprofit status, no more bank account, nothing. And I looked at my husband and I said, how do we just tell not only our daughter, but all of these girls that came together, how do we just tell them we're done? And he was like, I don't know, but you know nothing about running an organization, let alone an entire baseball organization. And I said, well, you know what? We're just going to learn. We're going to figure it out. And so that first year I managed to put together a 14U team. We went to nationals that year.
Wow.
Yep. And following year, I have 3 teams and now I have 4. So we're slowly building, but that's how I got into it. It was just on a whim, really.
Wow. That's exciting. And so, for 15, so she's in high school.
Yes.
So now are girls allowed on the high school baseball team?
Yes. As a matter of fact, she and her best friend, Juliana, were the first 2 girls in high school's history to ever try out and make the JV baseball team.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Wow, that's really, really spectacular.
Yeah.
So is that baseball team, and then with the Florida Bolts, are you guys running like a simultaneous schedule, or can she play both?
She can play both. So the Florida Bolts, because we have such an expansive state, and we have girls all the way from South Miami to Panama City, which is obviously an 8-hour drive difference, we don't get together as regularly as we would like to. That's obviously my goal, is to start doing tournaments here in Florida together. But most of the girls are on teams locally, travel ball, little league, pony league, where they're playing on teams where they're the only girls.
Wow.
So I encourage them to keep doing that. To me, that's really important as far as getting the word out and kind of showing, hey, girls are still in baseball. Like, we're still here. And they're playing against the boys' teams. And, you hear the whispers, oh my God, that team has a girl on it.
Yeah.
But then that girl comes up and hits a bomb and you're like, whoa, that girl really can play. So it shocked some people. But in 2016, the NCAA came out and said that softball and baseball are 2 separate sports. So legally, schools and little leagues and things are required to give a fair assessment or a tryout to the girls, making it 2 separate sports. So they truly can play baseball. I think that's a movement right now. There's kind of a push to show like, hey, it's coming. The girls do belong here just as much as the boys do.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen, I just play like baseball fantasy camp, but some of the women hit to the fence.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable. And some of them, I look at them and I'm like, they're nice, tiny little cute things and they can nail a ball. It's really deceptive when you look at people because I assume, if someone's going to be muscular or tall or whatever to give them momentum, but that is not the case.
No, it's really just a matter of connecting with the ball in the right way.
So now you have a really big event coming up in July. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, this is the Baseball for All National Tournament. It's going to be held in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. It's a week-long tournament. Like I said, I have 4 teams going. Actually, I have a 10U team, a 14U, 16U, and an 18U team. So I have, 4 times 12 girls going, and we're just going to go and compete. And we compete against all these other girl organizations around the country. Each year it seems to grow. I think the first year we went, there was only a little over 500 girls, and now it's over 700 girls coming out to play. It's truly inspirational and inspiring just to see how many girls are in the same position that my daughter's been in, where she's the only one. And here we get to come together and see this many girls.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So now these girls that are coming out for these things, I know that you're a nonprofit. Are they looking, does everybody have the equipment they need? I mean, are there any needs for these players so that they can be all at an equal playing level?
Not necessarily an equal playing level. The difference, or I should say the problem that I'm seeing is that a lot of girls don't always have the financial situation or the financial stability to do something like travel ball. Travel ball is where, they push you, it's extensive. You see travel ball everywhere. But when the travel ball fees are $1,100 to join a team or $1,200 team, but then it doesn't cover your cost of travel. It doesn't cover your hotel. It doesn't cover your tournament fee for your parents to go see you play. It really knocks some of those girls out. So then they're playing in Little League, where the coaches are all volunteers. There's not this level of training that travel ball does. You might get a practice a week or two, or a day or two a week. So I think that there's an imbalance when it comes to money and monetary expenses. And that's not just for the girls. I think that's across the board. You see these really talented boys in Little League who don't get noticed because their parents don't have the funds to put them on travel ball team. And it's just, you're just kind of there. But I think it's just happening across the board. Other than that, because we're a nonprofit, I try to keep our expenses, or to the expense of the parents, to a bare minimum. I only charge them for the uniform and the registration fee. And sometimes even then, if I can get some sponsors to donate money or get some businesses to donate money, then those costs even cut back further. Because again, traveling to Kentucky, it's expensive. You're there a week, and your food and travel costs. So it's, being a nonprofit these days is a challenge in itself.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because everybody needs money right now.
Yeah, everybody's. Yeah.
That's really tough. Now, as far as the families go, do you see a lot of families where the boys, like the brothers of the girls, also play baseball?
Yes. A lot of the times, some of our 10U girls right now have older brothers who are in high school and they're playing. So the younger kids are playing. I actually have a girl who's a twin. Her twin brother plays baseball. So of course and in this situation of like my daughter, we're just big baseball fans. We go to the Tampa Bay Rays games all the time, spring training. We grew up in baseball. My brother and I always remember skipping school and going to spring training games. So for her, I think the level of passion for baseball started at a really young age. And when she said, "Hey, Mom, I want to play baseball," she was 5.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. I thought she would change her mind. Eventually, maybe she would switch to softball, and the level of passion for this game has just continued to grow. And she has no intention of ever moving over to softball.
Yeah, I grew up playing softball, but now, and it's obviously just for fun for me at this age, but it's neat to see these young girls playing. And then, we've got a woman who was signed to a minor league deal. So, I mean, it is exciting to see women finally coming to baseball. But then you think, what is the big deal? Like, I don't understand why it's such a big deal that girls want to play baseball. I don't know, like, what went wrong in our society that women played 80 years ago, and then now it's a stigma for girls to play baseball. I don't know what happened.
I can't pinpoint an exact event that happened that made people change their mind. I can say that originally the idea for softball was that girls could not compete at the level that men could in regards to strength, agility, speed. And that was, they considered it a danger that the boys throw harder. And yes, granted, they do.
Yeah.
But to then make a sport called softball where it's a smaller field, a bigger ball, the bases are shorter because the girls don't have to run as far. It was almost, my daughter sees it as offensive.
Yeah.
She's like, well, why do I need a bigger ball? I can see a baseball just fine. I don't need shorter bases. I can run the bases just fine. So she saw it as an offensive move. But again, that's speaking now. I don't know. I can't tell you what event happened back then, but it is what it is. It happened. We have it. And I played softball. I have a level of respect for softball. I think softball is great. If that's what girls want to do, 100% support that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's girls who enjoy baseball. There's girls who love baseball and the level of playing for baseball with the boys. My daughter loves it. My daughter loves going out and hitting off of a boy because they're like, oh, I can strike this girl out.
Yep.
Didn't, So I think another misconception too is that girls want to infiltrate into the MLB. That's not, almost every girl that I talk to, that's not their intention. Their intention is just to keep playing and eventually have their own women's league, a WMLB, so to speak. So I think that's another misconception. You have the men who are like, oh, you'll never make it. Well, they don't necessarily want to make it in the MLB. They want to have something of their own. So
yeah, that's really interesting. Now, as far as someone getting a hold of you, so you've got all these teams established in Florida, are you looking to get people to branch out into new areas? Like, is this the long-term goal that you're going to just hopefully have teams in every area?
My goal is to have enough girls in the state of Florida playing baseball where I can say, hey, we have a team in Miami who's going to go play in Miami. We have a team in Tampa that's going to go play in Tampa. My short-term goal is to just get enough girls in the state of Florida that we can maybe go and play together. Like, I would really like for our 16U team to go and compete in a USA tournament or GSA tournament, just to show up, just even if we lose, just to say, hey, we're here, we exist. But yeah, eventually, to continue to grow it, I would like to host an all-girls baseball tournament in Florida. I think the Florida Bolts, would bring, whatever city we put that in, would bring a level of, tourism to the town. And so hopefully that's coming in the near future. It's my short-term goal.
And you have nice merchandise too. So if people... Yeah, I did check out your merchandise page because I'm always about t-shirts. So I was like, oh, I need to get some of these Bolt t-shirts. But who comes up with the design ideas? Is that you?
So initially it was me. I put together a page just on a whim for parents. And now we're using Game Changer Sports Apparel.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Locally owned in Spring Hill, Florida. Woman owned, woman ran. So I feel like, girls are sporting girls.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and her name is Vanessa. She comes up with all of my designs, and I give her the approval, and she does it all.
Awesome. All right, so if someone wants to learn more about you and Florida Bolts, where do they go?
They can go to our Facebook page, Florida Bolts All Girls Baseball. You can go to our website, floridabolts.squarespace.com. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, occasionally. But those are our main social media pages.
And I know you're looking for sponsors, but if someone wanted to get you somebody, like say somebody wanted to donate $50 or $100, they couldn't do the sponsorship, you definitely will take that because you're a 501(c)(3).
Yes. Yep. And they can just reach out to me on Facebook. I answer all the Facebook messages. So if they want to donate, they can reach out to me and I can, send them the W-9, or if they're a local business, and get them the tax information for a tax write-off. But we're always accepting donations and sponsorships. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, thank you. So nice talking to you, Brooke. Good luck. And I hope to be in touch with you again so we can get an update on the Florida Bolts.
Thank you.
This is Angelina Asante with this episode of Southwest Florida Online News.